seeing what I'm seeing?
Banana.
Oh my goodness!
Right, you ready?
No.
Are you still putting your pants on, Andy?
Hands off. Everyone else hasn't come back. Good morning. Welcome.
Morning.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
That wasn't as smooth as last night, but there you go. Anyway.
I'll not lie to you. I got distracted because it's ice cream. Eat ice cream for Saturday breakfast day. Rearrange that in an order that makes sense. We're eating ice cream for breakfast and it happens to be a Saturday. So, welcome to Abide. And as you might have picked up from that jumble of words, we are going to eat ice cream for breakfast. I got distracted by the font on my ice cream. That's what it was. Because I noticed the T looked a bit like a cross. And I was trying to work out if there was anything more to it. And that's why I missed my cue to introduce myself to everyone. So I'll take that opportunity now. My name is Ali. I am going to be maitre d'ing, hosting, guiding you through this lovely occasion of ice cream for breakfast on the Abide BiteSize platform that we find ourselves on today. And I want to know some things off you. I want to engage with you guys viewing and watching. I want to know a little bit about yourselves because it's not just about us six, is it? We want to know who you are. So I want to know on this interesting occasion of ice cream for breakfast day, what ice cream flavors are you actually having? Like, have we got any vanillas in the house, or have we got raspberry ripple, or like, are you going fancier than that? Some flavors I've never heard of, maybe a sarsaparilla or something like that. The flavors, the possibilities are endless. And you know, sometimes we want to know things that are more than just ice cream. Like, what Netflix shows or what TV series have you been binging recently? Like, I have a confession, I'm slightly weird, right? You might not have noticed that from that intro, but I've been watching loads of Deadliest Catch. I think it's absolutely class. And honestly, I'm about 5 seasons in and loving it. And we want to know where you're joining us from. Like, if you're from Alaska on a fishing boat on Deadliest Catch, I want to know if you are watching this, because that will make my day. Or if you work in an ice cream factory, like, do you love this? And do you notice your sales rocket when it's ice cream for breakfast day on a Saturday? We need to know. Anyway, I feel like, Andy, have you got some reminders? Because I'm talking a lot here, man.
Yeah, we just want to remind everyone we want to hear from you. So wherever you are beaming and tuning in from and watching online, get posting in the comment boxes. We want to know if you're watching with a youth club, if you're watching with your family this morning, if you're watching, like, you're having like a watch party with your church or something. Comment in the box, tell us who you are, where you're from, who your youth leaders are, all that kind of stuff. And we just hope to have a bit of a conversation over brekkie this morning.
Brilliant. Now, you may have noticed that we have a different guest with us today. Yesterday we had Mark and Kaylee from The Way, but today we have Susie, and I'm gonna let Susie tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you? Where are you from? What do you do?
That's a great question. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, my name's Susie, and I head up a youth movement called Dreaming the Impossible, DTI, and I'm based in Nottingham, which is like, well, it's a lot more south than you guys are, right in the middle of the country. And what else? My favourite colour is yellow. I'm fully obsessed with yellow. In my house, I have a yellow kettle, yellow toaster. There's yellow everywhere. Just love it. Absolutely love it. Although I've not got any yellow on today, but love the colour yellow. Anything else you want to know?
I don't know. Is there anything else you think is important for us to know?
Well, I'm pretty pumped about this ice cream situation. I've never had ice cream for breakfast, never in my life. So this is a first in a lifetime opportunity that we're experiencing together this morning. So thanks for that.
What flavour you want, Susie?
Huh?
What flavour you want?
Well, I have gone pretty straight down the line here. I've got Tesco Finest salted caramel, which arguably I'd say
pays well, this ministry stuff, doesn't it? Tesco Finest.
Tesco Finest, absolutely.
I'm going to start my own youth movement, I think, and I'll start Tesco Finest.
I would just say I didn't buy this myself. A friend bought it for me, and it was on offer. So it always comes with a caveat.
That's all right. You can flaunt your wealth, but don't worry about it. We're not, Write yourself. Treat yourself.
If you're going to have ice cream for breakfast, you need the best,
Yeah, totally.
We've got somebody here who's upping our ice cream game. They're having it with waffles today.
Oh, that's better. That's good.
So, and pancakes. Actually, with pancakes.
You know
I
what?
feel a bit like I'm missing out now.
Yeah.
I should have added extra stuff to it.
I want to know if anyone's putting sauces on their ice cream, because that's the thing, isn't it?
Well, I've got some Nutella to go with it. What do you reckon? Combination.
I love how they're the same size. Like, it's just like one spoon, one spoon.
Yeah, one of one of the other.
I've gone for a chocolate cereal as my topping. See, that's the point. It's like you substitute the milk for ice cream. So it's got like all the other stuff on. It's all good. This is a really nice combination, actually.
What flavour you got, Lindsay?
Well, you see, I thought I'd try something new. So I went for a banana and toffee. I know that's not the newest of flavour combinations, but it's new to me. And a white chocolate. It's very nice. Very nice.
I was just trying to open my ice cream. I was having difficulties with the little plastic toggle. But it might come as a surprise to you that I'm not really grounded in the ice cream world. It's not a world that I move in regularly.
Not.
It's not, no. But I think I want to know what everyone else is packing. So, Lindsay, we know what you're packing. You've got some cereal topping, haven't you?
Oh yeah, I'm a seasonal pro at ice cream for breakfast. Apart from the pancakes, man alive, open my eyes there.
Is it a regular Saturday thing for you then, Lindsay? Just every Saturday?
No. Let me educate you on the history of ice cream for breakfast. So it's been a national holiday since the 1950s. Some legend of a mother decided to start it with her children. Why not bring some joy to February? And then I heard about this amazing thing and I was like, I am on it. So this is now like the 3rd year that we have honoured. So it's always the first Saturday in February.
Love that.
Andy, what flavour are you on, man?
I'm going for, mate. I've got a combination actually. So I got some Oreo cookie crumble, got some pear drop, and mint choc chip, which is probably actually my favourite anyway, which is pretty good.
3 on the go at the same time.
I've just gone for it, mate. In for a penny, in for a pound. Don't mess about.
Love it.
It's only once a year we get to do this.
I'm a bit weird. I can't deal with like different foods at the same time.
How do you eat a normal meal?
Well, you know, I eat it in sections. It sounds really weird. So, like, if I'm having a roast dinner, I'll eat the veg first, and then I'll have like my Yorkshire pudding, and then I'll have the meat. You know, I do it. I can't mix and match. It just goes against me.
What was you having a curry or something? What do you do?
Well, curry. You know, that's the exception that proves the rule.
Right, that's exception. Love that.
But like 3 ice creams in one go, I think it'd do me in.
Ali, we've had a interesting question I've noticed in the comments. Annabelle, who is actually from Germany, who I think is worth a bit of an international shout out, has asked.
Guten Morgen. Hello.
Yeah, guten Morgen. Do you bite into your ice cream?
No.
What is this if it's in a cone? If it's in a cone, surely I'm probably a freak though. So.
I don't
I
think
mean,
I
I
bite
am right
ice.
now.
I don't.
Look, I mean, look, I'll demonstrate. It's not that difficult. Ice cream. This is every German watching. This is how we eat ice cream in the UK. At least I do. Right, put it on a spoon. Obviously, let's get to the cone. I'll have to lick it. I won't bite it. And then when I do this, look, I'm not going to bite it. I'm going to place it in my mouth.
Wow.
And slowly let it melt. So I get all the flavours across my whole tongue. Maybe I should come to Germany and do some ice cream tasting with you. I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't normally, but I've got cereal in, so I have to eat it now.
What flavour are you on, Joe? What's melting on your tongue, man?
Well, I've got some strawberry, subtle strawberry, I'd say. I've also got, I'm mixing, Ali. Sorry if this goes against you. Got some nice salted caramel, which I'll be honest is like a health food, isn't it? Because, you know, if you're running and you run out of salts, you cramp up. So lots of salted ice cream, salted caramel is good for that. And I've got some amaretto
nice.
and cherry together, yeah. I mean, this is like pure Italian gold made in Lancashire. So,
what flavour are you on, Ben? Are you mixing or not? I am mixing, I'm sorry. I've even added mango, Cocoa Pops and all sorts to this mix of craziness. But I've got mango and passion fruit, one flavour. I've got sarsaparilla, just to get it completely right, otherwise Lindsay will yell at me. And I have got Ferrero Rocher. So I've got three quite different flavours actually, but yeah, it's working well.
I can't eat Ferrero Rocher like a normal person. I have to eat the
actual
part off, and then I break it in half, and then I eat like the plain chocolate bit. Then I remove the hazelnut, eat that bit, and then I offer my hazelnut to anybody who might want it.
Give it to Ali. He likes things separate, so he could.
Yeah.
That would work well for him.
You know what? It actually wouldn't, because I'm allergic to nuts. It would be a nightmare.
You'd get halfway through that chocolate and just, something bad would happen.
When Susie was like, I just chucked Nutella all over mine, I was like, nope, I'm gone. Not there.
Don't worry, it's a good job we're on Zoom, you know. He's not going to get you. It's all right.
Well, that's it. Unless it comes through the Wi-Fi, so I'm safe.
Possible.
On that slightly bizarre note of Nutella feeding through Wi-Fi, you might have picked up that I'm not actually the biggest sort of ice cream fan. Like, I've eaten that much in this time, you know what I mean? I've got to take it slow and steady. And some people are nailing it. Like, you might have seen on its socials of promo, and it's still true to this day. I've never had Neapolitan ice cream. And I think part of that does stem from my weirdness to mix foods and ice cream. So that might be part of it. The idea of 3 ice creams on one spoonful, like, how does it even work? Do you eat one section at a time? Or do you scoop it all out? I don't know. But we decided, well, these guys decided that they need to try and win me over a bit. They need to win me round. So they've gone away and found some ice creams that they like. They've done extensive research into them. And they need to try and convince me that their ice cream is the best ice cream. Is that true, guys? Have you done this homework?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, extensive research.
Extensive. Now, who's going to go first and try and convince me that theirs is the best?
Right, well, how's it going to work? We're going to give you like one valid argument and then you select so many that go into the next round. Because I just need to know how many of my arguments I'm proposing first.
Lindsay's overly prepped for this, by the way.
Lindsay's getting aggressive.
Right off the bat.
I'm not competitive. I just want this one to win.
But as we've learned, winning isn't always the best strategy in this attack, Lindsay. I'm happy to go with that because why not?
What? Go what? So we're gonna give you what? Like one argument, and you'll pick what? Two of them to go next. Like
Yeah,
face to
that's
face.
it. That's
Right.
it, yeah.
Okay. Cool. Well, shall I go first? I'm chatting anyway.
Yeah, go on, Lindsay.
Okay, so I'm going to be honest. I thought really long and hard about this. I did nearly put sarsaparilla into the mix because I thought my instinct was, well, that's my favourite. But then I started questioning my instincts and I was like, oh, no. And then I came up with this flavour and I was like, no, that shouldn't go in. And then I ended up giving myself these arguments as I can't argue back to myself. So it was a very bizarre internal monologue that was going on. There's a lot of conflict, but I'm here now. So because I managed to convince myself, I'm going with blackcurrant and licorice flavour.
Okay.
Right? Unusual, left of field, but I'm sticking with it, right? So the reason is that it's the only ice cream that has ever shut me up. So if Ali wants me to just stop talking, then really he can have a peaceful life by giving me this ice cream because it's the only one that I've eaten it and it's just gone, wow, this is so delicious. I need to be silent and treasure every single moment of this flavour sensation.
I think
that
it
is
must
my
have
first
some
answer.
power. It must have some power.
Exactly.
I think we have a winner already.
That's it. We're done. Okay.
Wade into this, surely.
Ben, what about yourself, man?
Yeah, I'm gonna go honeycomb. All right. So this is a bit of a left field one, but I've kind of got into the honeycomb thing recently. I won't name the brand, but there is a specific one that I do like to buy. But it has everything, like it's all in one. So you've got the ice cream goodness, so you've got the creaminess of that. You've got something chewy in the honeycomb pieces. And then you will get that kind of rich vein of sauce that runs through it as well. That's kind of, it's just something kind of caramelly. Sort of, I think it's down the ground. And the reason being is it's light in its ice creaminess, but it's got some real texture to it. And it's just a barrel of, or a bouquet of just differentness. I'm running out of words now.
Yeah, I'll move on to Joe.
Well, as ever, I didn't read the email properly, but I'm gonna argue for this ice cream that's right before me. This lovely amaretto and cherry. Now, a few reasons why I think this is probably the greatest ice cream. One is Italy. That is the kind of the heart of ice cream world. Sorry, Mrs. Dowson's. You have made this, Mrs. Dowson. Does anyone know if Mrs. Dowson's married?
Yeah.
She is.
She's a Mrs.
Is Mrs. Dowson watching?
It's a shame, innit? Because I was thinking if she was a Christian, there were some Christian guys out there, want somebody who loves Jesus and also makes great ice cream, she'd be a great person to marry. Anyway, the flavours in this, they work together really nicely. You got the kind of almonds with the cherry you cut through. But here's my big reason why this is the best ice cream. Rumour has it that all the kind of dictators of the world used to love honeycomb ice cream and blackcurrant and licorice ice cream. So I'm not saying there's a connection between that and what their actions, but I've never heard of any dictator eating cherry and amaretto ice cream. So for the sake of the world peace, I would say, Ali, you need to choose this ice cream.
Oh, that took a turn at last minute, didn't it?
Also, let me just eat it in front of you, because then you get a sense of just. I'm thinking peaceful thoughts. Well, peace.
I can see that it brings silence to you as well, Joe.
Yeah.
It's having an impact on all of us. Susie, have you got an ice cream flavour that you are passionate about?
Well, I mean, today I bring you my favourite ice cream flavour, which is the salted caramel. And the reason why is it goes with everything. You know, you can have it on pretty much anything. You know, with fruit, it's also kind of savoury, so it's good for you as well. Sweet and salty, perfect combination. And you know, with ice cream, you're ever eating it and you kind of, you know, spill it on you, it's white as well, so it helps because no like stains or anything on your top. Absolutely perfect, and it's just generally delicious. And actually, I know you can't eat the Nutella, but that combination, people, if you've never tried it at home, get that out this morning. It tastes sensation, guys.
Susie, if you have to add something to it to make it good, it's not good in and of itself.
Well, it's both and, you know. You can, I mean, that's a good argument, isn't it? But you could just eat it on its own.
I'm gonna say, look, you're really welcome to be with us, but that argument don't work.
Fair enough, but it's still the best, yeah.
Andy, move us on before this gets any worse, man.
Okay,
I'm going to leave the call, actually.
Okay, Ali, I thought I would just play it pretty cool and help you out, because I'm sensing that you're not really like a flavors kind of guy, or at least one at a time. So I'm going to just break it down and go really simple. I'm just going to, well, my favorite is mint chocolate chip, but I thought I'll help you out, Ali, and I'm just going to recommend vanilla, because I think...
No. You can't just decide to pick a flavour that you think the judge is going to like. You're meant to argue the case for yours.
Well, as we know, Lindsay, we don't really follow the rules, do we, on these bite-size things? So, Ali, the reason I've gone for it is because... So I thought I'd ask the experts, so who are the most... Which country on the planet eats the most ice cream? New Zealand by a long shot. And they eat 28.5 litres per person per year, which is pretty good. And what is their most popular flavour of ice cream? Vanilla. So I thought, there you go. It's the best flavour, hands down. So that's my argument.
Wow. You know, I think actually... I've come to a decision about who I'm taking through as my next two. And I think predominantly I want to do this for my own entertainment as much as your guys' entertainment. So it's all about them viewing figures, isn't it? So this is going to be a bust up. So, Lindsay, you're going through because you're going to get aggressive. You know what I mean? It was going to be unreal anyway. And I was about to take Joe with me, but Andy's just got it with his market research.
Yeah, facts. Can't argue with facts.
When he was throwing in statistics from other countries and literage of ice cream, they're like, this boy's in it to win it. So I'm sorry to the rest of you, but if you've done market research or got aggressive from the start, like, it could have been you.
Really want to argue it now.
Yeah, Joe tried to do propaganda.
Why is next level of argument though? I feel like the stats have got you through, but I'm intrigued how you're gonna.
Right, bring it. Okay, so the cases for blackcurrant and licorice. Okay, so it's the kind of ice cream that goes with so many other things as well. It enhances it. It's not that other things enhance it. It enhances other things. So if you've ever had blackcurrant and licorice on a waffle, that is just like flavor combination extreme. It is absolutely beautiful. Also, it gives you that element of surprise because you order it, you forget how good it is. You think, I don't know, but go on then, I'll give it a try. And then you eat it and you're like, whoa. And how amazing is that? How boring is life if you just know what's coming? But actually, it gives you that element of just joyous mouth, taste, sensation, surprise of this is actually incredible. And then finally, I'm bringing my dead granny into this, right?
Oh, here we go.
You've gone there.
You didn't just...
I went there. My granny loved licorice, right? She loved it. And she's now dead. And you can't not get this through. Otherwise, you're speaking ill of the dead, and that's just not on. So it needs to go through.
When this turns at X Factor.
I don't know what to say to that, Lindsay. I think it's taken a dark turn here.
You brought up nut allergies as well. I think we're all morbid tonight.
Andy, how do you top that?
Hi, mate. Well, My research didn't really go too far beyond where I started. All I'll simply throw in is that vanilla it's not only the number one choice in New Zealand, it's also the number one choice in Germany, Italy, the United States, China, and Brazil. I rest my case.
Is that it?
Just a mad old Google, ain't it, Andy?
Stats are great though, aren't they, Ali? You know what I mean?
Well, the stats don't lie. I'll give you that.
Neither did my granny. My granny never lied. She had a strong heart. Brown bread and licorice all the way.
It's a hard life in the north, isn't it, Lindsay?
Yeah.
Well, I have got to bear in mind that we do have German viewers as well, and vanilla is like big time in Germany, innit? You know. So I've got to bear in mind about the viewers. But then an ice cream that shuts Lindsay up, there's power in that, you know. Like,
I don't mind losing this if that's what we're talking about.
Are you meant to be fighting for this? What kind of talk is that?
It's a win-win, Lindsay, this game.
Oh, you see, I'm finding this hard because, like, am I meant to be judging off my personal preference as well?
Which one's won you over?
Tell you what, mate. Should we do the giveaway while you consider this?
Yes, let's do
that. Should we do that? Because we've talked ice cream a lot this morning, and I would have to first of all give a massive shout out to Mrs. Dowson's. Apart from Tesco Finest, which Susie's given a massive shout out to, the rest of us are eating Mrs. Dowson's ice cream. Mrs. Dowson's is a Ribble Valley based ice cream company. There's even a farm you can go and visit. I got very lost on the farm trying to find the ice cream the other day. That's as far as the story goes. But so we're all eating different flavors because they have very kindly donated, sponsored us, given us, however you want to put it, ice cream for us to try and to basically test out for you and to try and convince Ali that ice cream is a good thing in life. But they've also thrown in two things. First of all, they have given us a prize of a year's supply of ice cream from Mrs. Dowson's. Look at Susie's eyes. Look at Susie's eyes. Right, hang on.
Can I say though, it wouldn't be a year's supply for a New Zealander. It'd be about a third of what they normally consume.
A year, apparently. So,
but, we're not dealing in New Zealanders at the moment.
To be fair, they've got to endure 2 weeks of quarantine if they wanted to come and get this ice cream. If you're watching in New Zealand, so my apologies. So you may not want to enter this, but they have given us a year's supply. That equals 18 half-litre tubs. Which does someone want to hold up their tub? So it's 18 of those. That Ali is holding up. So you can, all of those, 18 of them, that size of ice cream tub, and you can win. And we're going to ask you that question in a minute. Andy's going to do us the honours in a moment. But third thing, not only have they given us ice cream, they're going to give someone lucky enough to win a year's supply of ice cream. But they've actually said the first 50 people that register with them on their website, and I'll read you out that in a moment, and I'll stick it in the chat in a mo as well. If you register with them, they will send you a voucher, which you can go to Mrs. Dowson's and get a free ice cream from them. So Mrs. Dowson's have gone to town on this. I want to give a particular shout out to Ethan, who has been amazing over at Mrs. Dowson's and dealing with us. So that is that. So while I put the link in the chat, pin your ears back. Andy, mate, have you got the question for this? Have you got the question for the winning on this, mate?
Yes, and just to check, Ben, is it answers in the comment box below?
Comment box here, yes.
Comment. Yeah, so if you're watching, we would invite you to put your answers in the comments below, and we want to know the answer to this question. Now, as I've just proved, I'm pretty up on my ice cream stats. The official stats for the year 2020 are not actually back in yet. So cast your mind back to 2019, and this is what we want to know. How many litres of ice cream were sold in the UK in 2019? So go for it. Now remember, that was pre-lockdown, so it may not be quite as much as 2020. I'm just putting that out there. But have a think, how many litres of ice cream were sold in the UK in 2019? Put your comments below, and the closest one to the correct answer wins.
Are we allowed to enter?
No.
Oh, Andy's spoken.
To be fair, I reckon Joe can enter because the answer was in an email, but he won't have checked it. So
Yeah, that's true. I probably shared the answer with.
I once had a friend who, I think this is a few years ago, so the answer would have been different. But they asked the question, how many litres of ice cream are consumed in the UK? And the answer was so big, and he was a big ice cream eater, that the amount of money that was spent on ice cream could have cured world poverty. So he decided to give up ice cream for life in that moment. So this could be a life transforming quiz for someone. You know, the answer might be so blow your mind that you think maybe we could save the world one less ice cream at a time.
I've come to an answer on who's won as well.
Oh, have you?
Yeah. And I had a last minute, you might even want to say epiphany as to what changed my mind. And that I was thinking about Lindsay's answer, and actually, if I was eating her choice of ice cream and I couldn't speak, and something happened, what would I do? Like if I ended up in danger, you know what I mean? If I got blackcurrant and licorice from an ice cream van in the park, and then I saw a child fall in the pond and I couldn't shout or couldn't do anything, I couldn't live with myself. So I'm having to go for Andy. Vanilla. It's just
vanilla.
It's so
wise choice.
Yeah, we've done all of this for vanilla.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Lindsay, but it could.
Every time.
All right, I won't play that again, I promise.
We know what that noise means. Lindsay, what does that noise mean?
We need to go for a wee now. It means it's game time. It's game time.
Oh, brilliant. So, as you guys know, we've been doing some games as a team to help you guys get to know us a little bit and see our individual quirks, that some of us don't like 3 ice creams in one bowl, and that some of us cheat at games and things like that. Ben.
Okay. Rude, maligning me.
To be fair, you spoke up before I aligned you, so that says more about your moral compass. Ben, have you got this game ready to go?
I have. See it.
Let's roll the VT.
Roll.
Game is clothes on, so super appropriate. Let's put on as many clothes as possible in a minute.
And the votes are still open until I announce who is the winner.
Winner. Yeah. Wrong one. I was there. There we go. Sorry.
Ladies and gents, you are going to have 1 minute in a minute to put on as many clothes as you can. Go.
No. Ow. Oh, I went for too many thick items.
Time's up. Stop.
Are you still putting your pants on, Andy?
Andy, pants off.
Joe, come on, mate.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Yeah.
I can't believe I waited till last to take all those off. It was really warm now.
Right, so well done, Ben. I think we were all surprised by that one.
Thanks.
You actually
Ability
did
to put clothes on. That's a bit
yeah,
weird.
but really, as much as you achieved very well there, it doesn't really count today because it's about the votes and it's about what the people thought, who the people thought won. And now the forfeit today, because it's breakfast, we obviously wanted to go something breakfast related. So Ben and Joe, have you got your forfeits kind of at the ready? ready for the big announcement. So this is a bowl full of super dry cereal. Like, this is the kind of thing that will make your mouth sort of go as you're eating it. And they're just going to continue eating it for the rest of the session until the bowl is empty.
I filled the bowl up.
Because you're a muppet.
I didn't. I just put a little bit in the bottom. Clever.
Absolute muppet. So the winner of this one, are you ready? Let's have some like weird drum rolls. We'll go, oh, hey. Who got the most votes was Joe.
Oh, what?
A big bowl of dry cereal away. What a shame.
It's a bit like the blackcurrant and licorice equivalent for Lindsay. It's going to shut me up. So,
unless you want to speak like. To enjoy that experience. It's not a challenge, but it's close.
Legs can sit down.
Sorry, my daughter's here. She's going to help me.
No, you can't share the punishment.
He's a small child, starving small child.
It was all about saving the world this morning, isn't he? So, a lot of saving the world here.
Wow. Well, while Joe works his way through a box of, what are you even eating? What?
I've got a full mouth, but I'll tell you, I've got cereal, cinnamon thing my wife likes.
You got some cinnamon your wife likes.
Yeah, cinnamon something, I don't really like it, but it's in my bowl. And some Rice Krispies.
What was the last one again, Joe?
Rice Krispies.
Okay, brilliant.
I probably should eat it so quick.
Oh yeah, I forgot to say, you're also not allowed to drink whilst you're eating it. Drink afterwards. About that bit. That's quite important.
Okay, guys, remember to get commenting on YouTube as well. Let us know what cereal you be eating dry right now if you were in a certain position like Joe was. This morning though, we've got Susie with us. Give us a wave, Susie. Come on.
Oh, it's good to be here.
Yeah, she's excited to be here. That wasn't queued up at all.
It actually wasn't.
Yeah. We're going to be looking at John 21 this morning, aren't we, Susie?
Yeah.
Yeah. Aren't we the rest of the team?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. And this is a bit where we're looking at Pete. It's just after Peter has denied Jesus 3 times, and they have some breakfast on the beach and a little bit of fishing. I'm not sure whether ice cream was a thing back then. I don't think they will have had access to ice cream for breakfast.
Probably not with fish either.
Well, I don't know. Some of the flavours that have been coming out on the YouTube, I won't be surprised, mate.
What flavour would go with fish? Would it not be an ice cream? It would venture into like sorbet.
Yeah, I think it'd have to be sorbet, wouldn't it?
Lindsay, you said blackcurrant and licorice went with everything. So
that's true. An argument that's straight there.
Well, I feel like this is a new challenge that will arise at some point. Watch Lindsay eat fish and blackcurrant and licorice ice cream.
We're finding challenges in every session so far to take forward in the future. Anyway, John 21. This is after Jesus's after Jesus' resurrection, and he appears to the disciples on a beach. Now, I am reliably informed that Susie spent some time in Israel last year.
Yeah, I did. So last year, last January, just before the pandemic started, me and a couple of friends we went to Israel, and we spent a bit of time up in the north around like Lake Galilee, which is where this happened. And on the last day, we went to this little beach, and it was called I think it's called Tagba or something like that. And so we went down, and it was the beach where, I mean, of course they don't definitely 100% know, but where they think that like the resurrected Jesus appeared to Peter. And so we walked down. It was raining. It wasn't, when you think Israel, you think it's going to be super hot all the time. Well, it wasn't, guys. It was freezing, and it was really cold. And we hadn't taken we had shorts, and we thought we were going to get a suntan, but it was basically freezing. Anyway, that's a detail you don't need. But we come down, and we're still on the beach, and we had our Bibles open, and we read this passage, John 21, on that beach, and it was honestly probably one of the most significant moments in my life. Just stood there looking out at the beach, and I've been on this sabbatical thing, so I've been off work for quite a few weeks, and I was just about to go back to work, and I knew things would be quite hectic. And we read the passage, and in the passage, I'm sure we'll get onto it in a minute, but Jesus and Peter have this conversation where essentially, like, Jesus is saying, "Do you love me?" to Peter a number of times, and we can get on to like the significance of that if we want to. But I really felt God say to me in that moment, like I was stood on the beach, and actually I'm not like a super emotional person, but I felt really, really emotional, just shed a little tear as I felt Jesus say to me, "Susie, like, if I take like all the stuff that you do out of the way, like, do you love me? Like your job out of the way, like your friends, your family, like, do you love me? And will you love me in this season?" And I just found myself saying to him, yes, like all of that stuff aside, take all of that stuff away. Yeah, I just want to love you. And it was an amazing moment. And I came back last January and told a number of people that story. And then, of course, it was really interesting because just 2 months later, we ended up in a situation where lots of the things I was looking forward to in 2020 just didn't happen. We had to pull loads of events, lots of things we couldn't do, couldn't see young people face to face. And I remember over and over again, Jesus saying that little conversation where he's like, "Do you love me? All of those things that you love doing, if they're not there, do you still love me?" And that's been on my heart so much this year. So when Ben said you're going to be talking about it this morning, I was like, oh, I love this passage. So much going on in there. So that's just a little bit about that.
Nice. Cool. That's I just thought we'd start off with that because it was when I'd emailed you and you went, "Hey, I was there." I was like, "Woo."
Yeah, I was there. And also, I'll tell you this, I was like, because I had such a good moment, I thought I need to take a stone from the beach. And so I thought, maybe Jesus had like walked on the beach. And obviously, I'm sure everyone takes stones, so they really weren't the stones. But I've got a couple of stones from that beach in my house as well that I just look at every now and again and think they're the stones from the beach where Jesus met Peter. So
that's a memento.
Hopefully, I won't get put in prison because that would be awkward. But
yeah, as I say, in this country, you can get told off at least.
Yeah, so don't defy that at home.
Don't take stones off the beach, people. He says, I don't know. I'm gonna jump in on this. This story is where Jesus appears on the beach. They're out fishing. They end up with a miraculous catch, and then Jesus basically says, "Come and have breakfast with me." And we see Simon Peter dive straight into the water, go, jump in, swim up, and you see them. You sort of have this encounter with Jesus, which is probably not something they expected because this is the first time. This is them kind of going, "Oh wow, okay." And I think when I kind of go through this, it's that thought process that I'm thinking, what was their reaction like that first time? It's a bit like when you kind of have that upper room moment, isn't it, where Jesus kind of just appeared in their midst, and you think, how would you even respond to that? How do you if Jesus showed up right now? I mean, I know we're not in the same room, but how do we? I mean, Jesus would show up. I'm tying myself in knots, but you know what I mean. So if actually physically came and stood in front of you and went, "Hey, I'm Jesus," how would we respond? And I think there's something about that, and I guess for me, my whole journey with Jesus has just been full of encounters with him. So it might sound really weird, but it's there's been really significant moments like Susie's described where I meet Jesus at something, and then actually that spurs me on and it sends me on to the next thing. And I feel like that means that there's a closeness to Jesus, that there's something that seems to up a level. And I feel like there's and obviously I guess what I'm trying to get at is that if you're sitting there at home and going, I don't know what it would feel like to encounter Jesus on a beach. I don't know what it would feel like to meet him. I guess I want to say to you this morning, you can meet him, and that he wants to meet you and he wants to know you. And the same Jesus that walked on that beach wants to know you, wants to have a relationship with you, wants you to have that kind of come and meet me, have breakfast with me moment. So I just wanted to stick that out there. There is an invitation for each of us to do that. And I guess the next thing that feels like and some of us might be feeling a little bit like Peter this morning, because actually Peter experiences just the absolute abundance of grace from God, from Jesus in that moment where Jesus restores him, and they've got a friendship, and that's kind of felt like it's been destroyed by denial. But actually Jesus kind of reveals grace to him. He shows grace. In some ways, that's a big experience of grace that we all can experience when we come to know Jesus. Does anyone want to have Andy, you're not eating cereal. Do you want to dive in on grace?
just before that, Ben, what you were talking about before, just great in terms of what would our response to Jesus be. You've just seen this amazing miracle, like you're saying. There's just this transaction of this grace. It's almost like this covering over of the denial that Peter's done and everything like that. And what was his response? It was pretty cool. Peter saw Jesus out there, and it says he put on his outer garment and goes into the sea. It's a bit weird, isn't it? If you think, oh, someone's going to go into the water, you'd probably think, oh, take a few layers off because we're about to get soaked. But actually, Peter puts on his outer garment. And what was that about? Like in that culture, that was a sign of like respect and reverence. And I guess we can like relate a little bit, maybe being appropriately dressed for the occasion, that kind of thing. Peter puts on this garment. It's about reverence and worship. In a sense, like you're saying, Ben, the invitation for all of us is actually to turn to Jesus and just kind of recognize who he truly is. And then in the middle of that, there's grace, there's forgiveness, there's restoration, there's let's put everything back in the right place and do life as it's supposed to do. And that's the life of Jesus. It's about that miraculous transaction and relationship. And so yeah, I thought that was just a real good point, Ben, and I just noticed that in the passage. So I thought I'd share it.
Nice. Linz, Ali, do you want to jump in?
I was just going to say, I think off the back of what Andy was saying, I was reading the passage this morning, and it was saying that when they saw Jesus on the beach, like just the excitement they had when they saw Jesus, and then the fact that actually they didn't stop and turn the boat around and go to shore. They actually weren't. They were still at sea. They weren't at shore at the time. And like Andy was saying, that the natural reaction was to jump over and swim to Jesus. And it says, I was reading the NIV, and it was saying that actually they were dragging the nets of fish with them. So this miraculous catch that they've had, they're dragging and swimming to shore because they're so excited to see Jesus and spend that time in his presence. And I felt a bit challenged actually reading it because for me to spend time with Jesus in my everyday, I don't have to jump off a boat. I don't have to swim through water. I don't have to drag a net of 153 fish that I've miraculously caught. So it's like, if they're that excited, they're willing to do that. Like, how great is it that I can just spend time with Jesus on my own or in my room or reading the Bible? So that was a thought that hit me. I hadn't really planned it. It just kind of, I saw a lot more detail in it, I think, today that I hadn't really necessarily seen before.
See, I love, Susie, that you collect a pebble, because I feel like everyone else seems to have picked up something exciting from the verse, and I picked up kind of opposite. I just picked up the sheer flawness of the disciples. Like, they are fundamentally flawed, and I connect with that because I am fundamentally flawed in multiple areas. But that, like, the pebble, that kind of having to pick something up and that reminding you of those messages. My version of a pebble is actually my phone, because it's pretty much the first thing I pick up in the morning and it's the last thing that I put down at night. And every day I tell myself, before you pick up your phone, and after you've put down your phone, make sure you start and end it with prayer. So actually, it's not my phone's the first thing I pick up, but it's a prayer to Jesus that I pick up. And I just about do it in the morning. And then I get to the night and I put my phone down and I'm like, oh, sugar, I kind of forgot to keep my focus on Jesus again. And then I'm like, ah. And then this verse just keeps, I was reading it, and I'm like, I get the disciples, because they shouldn't have been out in that boat. Jesus had given them a very particular task to do, and then he died, and it's like they went, what do we know how to do? I know how to do fishing, so let's just go back to fishing, because that's kind of like what I kind of know, and that was kind of my future before Jesus, fishing. And then he turns up, and they're just like, hi, and instead of telling them off, which I love more than anything, instead of telling them off, it's like the equivalent of us going, do you fancy a brew? Like, come on, let's sit down, let's have a chat, shall we? How do you think that went? Like, how could I be better? You be better? How could the situation improve in future? Like, it's a proper kind of like, let's just gather together, have a little chat, have a bit of a food, bit of a brew, and like, how can we be better tomorrow? And it's that kind of like, tomorrow you're going to try again, and it's just that keep trying again. And I don't know, just remind me of that flowness and that attempt that I try every day to keep my focus, and yet every day fail, but every day I want to try. And I think that kind of is that some, I think in having that, whether that's the pebble from the beach to remind you of that message, or whatever it is, those little triggers in your life which remind you that, oh yeah, that's the Jesus, I've got to keep focused on that. That's my weird get. So I didn't really pick up excited, I just picked up I'm flawed.
I linked to that. I was really struck by, again, just how Peter's given a really important job. He's supposed to feed. Jesus, feed my sheep, feed my lambs. And I was struck again that the only way Peter can do that is as someone who has failed. He can only be someone who can feed others when he knows just how gracious and kind God has been to him and forgiving him. And that really hits me for all kinds of reasons. One is just because I think, particularly if you're involved in a church and you feel like you want to serve in some way, you feel that you have to do it from out of your strength and out of your abundance. But Peter, he's actually equipped to care for people well because he's a failure. And so I think we often try to cover up the fact that we get stuff wrong, that we fail Jesus. But it seems to me here, Jesus says, no, your failure is actually the way you're going to be able to feed people properly, because you're going to feed them instead of saying you've got to be really good for Jesus to love you. You're going to be obvious and say, no, you've got to be someone who can come with open hands to receive all that God has got for you, because you've got nothing to offer in one sense other than your life, which is a mess. And as you give that to Jesus, then he can then use you and forgive you and help you feed others. So I was really hit by that again. And that perhaps links a bit to what Susie was saying at the start. Just, Jesus, you're going to serve, you're going to trust me. You're not in your strength, but in your weakness. And then you can use that to care for others.
Yeah, definitely. Because I think we've all had those moments, where you do something. None of us are perfect, are we? And you think, oh man, I'm messed up. God's never going to use me because I'm not good enough, or some of you guys at home will feel like that God can never use you because you've done stuff that you're not proud of, and it's just a beautiful thing, because think how Peter must have felt, because it's like he said to Jesus, I'll never deny you, and then literally he just denies him, and then Jesus dies, and they're friends, and then he's just like, oh my goodness, this situation's happened, and then Jesus appears to him on the beach, and I just love the fact that Jesus cares more about just being with Peter. So it doesn't say whilst they're eating breakfast they have this conversation. It says after they'd had breakfast. So they presumably they're having this chat and they're just hanging out with each other. And for Peter, he must be like, oh man, I've proper messed this situation up. But yet Jesus just restores him, and this it just speaks so much of God using people, as you say, in their brokenness. And no matter what you've done, God can use you. But also just how kind Jesus is. He's so kind in this passage. To just meet with him, and he cooks for them, he's serving them. Jesus is literally serving his mate who denied him 3 times, who said he wouldn't, his breakfast. That's the first moment of restoration. It's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah, so I think I'm just a bit conscious of time, but I think that's actually a really good place to leave it, Susie, what you've just highlighted there. And again, guys, if you're a notebook, doodle, a journal, there's been some great stuff that's been said there. Fresh perspectives on everything, I feel. So if something's hit you, write it down, tweet it, gram it, do what you need to do. Andy, would you just pray for us off the back of that?
Yeah, love to. Father God, we thank you that we can gather digitally like this and just enjoy ice cream for breakfast day, and just spend some time hanging out and looking again at your word. And we thank you, Lord, of the stories of the Gospels pointing us towards Jesus, and in that as well we can learn lessons from the disciples and the life they lived following Jesus. And we just thank you that Peter was given another chance, and we know that really there was a 3rd, 4th and 5th chance for him, because there was just this relationship of grace and salvation he had with Jesus. And we see even just later on in that passage that Jesus, you reminded Peter that you died for him and you love him so much. And you also prophesied the way that Peter would eventually die for you as well, Jesus, and glorify you through his death. And we can see in there just a real devotion to you, and you called him again to follow you. And so, Lord, we just pray that you'll help us to encounter this grace in our lives. We pray that you'll help us turn to you for forgiveness when we have failed, And Lord, we just commit again in the fresh today, Lord, to follow you, to live out your commands in our life. And I pray for everyone watching that they would spend some time with you to recommit their lives to you, Lord, again, as you're the Lord of all of our lives, Lord. And so we pray that you'll help us do that. And we pray that you'll be glorified in these things. In the name of Jesus, amen.
Amen. I can't help but notice in the YouTube comments, someone's been asking what sarsaparilla is, Lindsay. Does that agree with you at all?
That's the question we're all asking.
Yeah.
Lindsay's very passionate about this.
I've eaten ice cream and I'm still not sure. So
it's just a sweet, but actually you can also get it in drink form. So you can drink it. And because apparently I was born in the 1800s, you used to be able to get it for like 30p a cup off the market in Blackburn many, many years ago from the guy who sold tools. So I don't get how he also sold tools and sarsaparilla drinks. But there you go. But it is also a sweet that's very delicious from Stockley's. So I think it's a very East Lancashire thing. I think it's quite specific to its location. But it's from the same family as like dandelion and burdock and all those other yummy things. And licorice. Like my dead granny loved.
Just a bit of context for you guys watching at home. Lindsay was very passionate about this in a meeting beforehand, and there was a couple of people asking the same questions as you. So you're not alone. Half of our team were asking, what is this sarsaparilla? They couldn't even pronounce it, but Lindsay was going in passionate about it, like it was the best thing that she's ever seen or heard. And
it is!
That was the polite version that you had. We were getting a formal telling off for not knowing. But that's brought us nicely onto the ice cream, because secretly you do like the sarsaparilla flavour of ice cream, don't you, Lindsay?
I mean, it's no secret. It's a full-blown passion. There's only one place in the whole world
about blackcurrant and licorice or sarsaparilla.
Well, originally, as I said, I was going to go for the sarsaparilla, but sarsaparilla never shut me up. It just made me go, oh my goodness, this is amazing. You've got to try this. If anything, it made me talk more and then thrust ice cream in people's faces. So back in a time when you were allowed to share that sort of thing.
Lindsay, have you got any information about who might have won?
I do.
The lifetime supply of ice cream.
I do. I mean,
not lifetime. Sorry, I exaggerate.
It's not lifetime. Don't overpromise. You've said it now, but we can't commit to that. He's telling lies. It's just a year's supply of ice cream, and the winner just needs to contact youth@blackburn.anglican.org when time is revealed, and we'll sort out how you can collect it, etc., etc., etc. So. You went big and you went bold. There's some large figures going on there. So I'm impressed by all of that. However, it probably was a little bit smaller than how big you all went. But the actual answer is 319,000 litres were sold in the UK in 2019. So the winner, if I'm not mistaken, is Annabelle.
Oh, no.
Why? Oh no!
That's not the reaction you meant to have, Ben.
No, but Izzy put 300,000.
Oh, it's controversial.
Oh yeah! I missed Izzy. Again,
don't get me wrong.
She's on the second day. She won yesterday, didn't she?
Yeah, she won yesterday as well. So she's done well. Sorry, Annabelle. I apologise.
Oh. Annabelle, that was so close, wasn't it?
Give and take away. You give and take away.
Have my sarsaparilla ice cream, Annabelle.
That was like the Oscars a couple of years ago when they announced the wrong person who had won, wasn't it? Where's the golden envelope?
Yeah, so that's Izzy. Sorry. You know when you spot something, you're thinking, here it comes. So you go, Izzy, send it. Actually, I think we've got Izzy's details, so we can get that sent up. But we'll get those. If we need anything else, we'll email you about that. Amazing. Ooh, look at that. Just to remind you, Izzy may have won, but there is always a free ice cream for everyone who registers. If you get onto www.mrsdowsons.co.uk/abide, and you can register. Please be nice. Please just register for one. I think it won't let you register for more than that. But the first 50 people to register can get ice cream.
There is full carnage going on YouTube now. Everyone's like, give it to Annabelle, can't have the same winner twice.
Oh,
Wow.
what have you done, Lindsay?
I've destroyed people's lives. There is weeping misery.
You know, luckily though, we were just looking at a passage where some people have messed up and how it's not the end. So it does tie in.
I told you I'm flawed.
They just have said that Annabelle might struggle to collect it from Stuttgart. So that might be a flaw in the plan anyway. That's all good. Anyway, let's move on, shall we?
No pressure.
But yeah, go sign up, get yourselves a free ice cream. Then you can visit Mrs. Dowson's when we're allowed to, and life goes back to some vague normality, and we're allowed to eat ice cream in the places that they make it.
Ben, what's coming up in BiteSize at lunchtime? What's the next session?
Lunchtime.
Lunchtime is 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
For lunch. Rachel Gardner from Preston Minster will be joining us, which will be very exciting. You can win a pizza for tonight's session, I believe. And also, because I know lots of people were asking about this, I'm not sure how lots were. I've photo evidence.
Oh yeah.
A parrot, yes.
Yeah.
Up Preston Canal. And if you come at lunchtime, you'll get the joy, yes, to see that.
Well, do you want to see? Do you want me to show it now?
No. Not too much already. There's so much good stuff. They'll come up for that.
We can resolve Friday's scandal.
Also, I've got a picture of the canal for those who don't even believe there's a canal in Preston.
Yeah.
And Joe, what's happening this evening, man? What are we doing this evening?
Well, it's not really my job to answer that question, Ali, if I'm honest, according to the email.
Okay, I'm glad you've read one.
I read it as we go through because I like to have the live experience.
I mean, I can hand over to Lindsay, who's
I don't, because that's a bit risky. She'll probably tell the wrong time and announce the wrong person's coming.
Probably.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie, I've totally zoned out and I'm too busy paying attention to the YouTube comments.
I'm on the sugar high now, anyway, from the ice cream.
Yeah, tonight we've got a great evening ahead. We've got Joyce joining us. I'm not going to say a second name because I don't want to offend her if I get it wrong. And then have an awkward conversation with her when she arrives tonight. But I'm looking forward to seeing her. And we're going to have a bumper session, apparently. Yeah, that's
Bumper.
2 games.
Bumper.
2 giveaways. And fantastic conversations, chat, and many more laughs. So that's what the script says. That's what's going to happen.
You've given life to that script there, Joe.
Properly. Nothing like reading off a piece of paper.
Joe does read emails.
But it is bumper.
I read them live for fun.
Yeah, 2 games, 2 chances and forfeits, and then 2 giveaways as well, which I promise I won't mess up.
Nice. And we're joined by Joyce Winadio, and she is, you might know her if you're at Life Church in Burnley, you might know her. If you're a student at UCLan, you might know her. If you're on YouTube and follow Talks with Joyce, you might know her too. Otherwise, if you don't know her, come back tonight and you'll meet her. She's going to be joining us. So yeah, I think it feels like we've hit 11 o'clock. We keep hitting the hour marker. This is not a good thing. We keep doing this. We'll be done in an hour, people. Promise.
I mean, we are pretty much done, to be fair, Ben. We've pretty much nailed it for this session. But again, we just want to say a massive thanks to Susie for coming and joining us today. What you shared.
Loved it. And hoping you have a great rest of your time as well. And excited for everything, all you young people watching, what God wants to do with you, even on a rainy day. It's going to be a great day today.
Not raining.
And also, I might get on the chat tonight and try and win the pizza or something.
Yes.
Just wondering, will you send me one if I win?
Do it.
Get it entered.
There you go. You never know.
Get entered. Before I just realised that, Susie, we've not asked you anything about DTI. I'm aware that DTI in the summer, there's probably a question mark over that. But just before we go, what are you guys up to? What's going on? What's DTI about?
Super quick. We're just trying to work out what the summer looks like at the moment. So normally we'd be planning to meet at Staffordshire Showground, and we're just trying to work out what we can do, what summer's going to look like. Sounds a bit cryptic, but it is cryptic because we don't know. So yeah, we gather young people together from all across the UK and Ireland as well, and we love Jesus. We love to worship Him, to pray together, And you can find us on, we're on, Instagram. We are on Facebook, but most people are on Instagram. We do a whole bunch of Instagram lives each week. Last week, they were eating chilies on there, which is, we haven't done that. Oh my goodness.
I saw that.
It was horrendous. My mate Zeke was doing it. Oh gosh, horrendous. So yeah, we do a whole bunch of events for both youth and youth leaders. So you can check us out. And we love having guys like you guys coming and joining us as well. So yeah, do check us out.
Amazing. Cool. So yeah, go check them out. Lindsay and I got to hang out with Zeke a few months back, and we had a good crack with him as well. And these guys are amazing. So go check them out, find out what they're up to, see how you can connect with them. Otherwise, Ali, I think you're right. I think we're done here, aren't we?
I think we are, but we'll see you at 1 o'clock. We're ready. We're buzzing for it. It's going to be brilliant. There's not going to be any false giveaways. We're going to love it.
I need to lie down. This sugar's kind of buzzing my head too much now.
I know.
I'm waiting for.
We're going to need a power nap because we'll get the sugar crash as well.
Hopefully, it'll come before 1 o'clock, because otherwise it could be an interesting session.
1 o'clock, we'll see you later. Anyway. It's going to be amazing. See you all at 1.